Another week with the Philadelphia Flyers, and it was definitely a week we would like to forget, but it definitely ended on a positive note. Guys, I'm in Parcero, Philly, uniting all through sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. And today, guys, we are going to recap the week that was for our Orange and Black. Sit back and hang tight, guys, because you don't want to miss it. Let's get this started, guys. Yeah. All right, guys, the Orange and Black gave us 4 games this week. And I'm not going to lie to you, most of them were pretty rough to watch. But we still are going to talk about the week that was for the Philadelphia Flyers. All right, guys, so we're going to start off this Flyers week with last Friday when the Philadelphia Flyers traveled up to Canada to face off against the Ottawa Senators. It was the game after they played Washington Capitals, the first place team in the Metropolitan Division, all the way to them, gave them everything they could handle and took it all the way to the shootout. You figured that, yeah, we lost that game, but they were going to build upon that. They gave everything that Washington could handle in that game, despite losing in a shootout. And against Ottawa, I think they got a little burnt out from that Washington Capitals game. However, they would start off fast in this game, getting the first goal in the first period by Tyler Pitlick, but they couldn't capitalize on that Tyler Pitlick goal. And the Ottawa Senators had plenty of opportunities throughout this game. They would constantly hit the post and miss open shots, and they honestly could have won this game like 5-1, to be quite honest with you guys. But however, they still found a way to get some goals. And in 2 periods, the Ottawa Senators would get 2 goals past us. And that would be the final score of the game, as Ottawa would beat us 2-1. I told you guys that I did not expect the Flyers to have any difficulties against this Ottawa Senators team. But like I said, it could have been a little burnout from the Washington Capitals game, but man, they did not end this game on the right note. And the Flyers as well had missed opportunities of their own. Carter Hart on the first goal, yeah, he shouldn't have let that go. He had the puck in between his 5-hole. It just squeaked right through his legs. That would give the Senators the first goal. Carter Hart would have 17 saves in this game. This game left everyone puzzled in that Flyers locker room, but we had to move on. After that shocking loss to the Ottawa Senators, the next night came the rematch against the New York Islanders. If you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, we went up to Long Island to face off against the Islanders, and they put a beat down on us. They took control of that game. Now this time in our backyard at the Wells Fargo Center, we were not going to lose to the New York Islanders after losing to the Ottawa Senators. And the Flyers came out hot in this game, going up 3-0. And everyone thought the game was won. The Flyers had this. They were up 3-0 going into the third. There was no way in how the Islanders were going to come back. Damn, we were wrong. It all started on a power play goal by the New York Islanders, and the floods continued after that. The Islanders would score 2 more unanswered goals to tie the game up, setting this game into overtime. God damn, another overtime game. And the fact that you gave up a 3-0 lead to the New York freaking Islanders. God damn. Well, and overtime, no one was able to score a goal, and those would have to go into a shootout that the Islanders would win. You still walked away with a point, but the fact that you had a 3-0 lead going into the third period against the Islanders, and you didn't capitalize on it. And the Islanders came back, and they stole a point from you. We could have had the 2 points, but the Islanders took advantage of it. Now this irritates me. The Islanders are not, I'm not being a hater here, guys, but the Islanders are not that good of a team. For them to be sitting in second in the Metropolitan Division, and for them to beat us in both the games so far this season. Granted, the Islanders are a team that work their ass off, and they are a well-organized team. And Barry Trotz, congrats to him because he's got this team going, but we have more talent in my opinion. We should not be losing these games to the Islanders, especially the fact that these games against the Islanders are super crucial. Losing to the Islanders as they came back on us after we were up 3-0, that's the most upset I can get with this team. There's nothing else. There is nothing possible that could make me more angry than losing to the Islanders. Well, how about losing to the Florida fucking Panthers? All right, now Tuesday, Flyers started off a 2-game road trip down south to face off against the Panthers to start it off. But what stole the news before this game was Alain Vigneault called up Morgan Frost for this Panthers game. We all know Frost, along with Joel Farabee, were the 2 young guns we were waiting to come up and get some minutes with the Philadelphia Flyers. Tuesday night would be Morgan Frost's opportunity to show Alain Vigneault what he had. And honestly, it was the only bright spot of this team. on this day. Again in this game, just like the Islanders, we saw the Flyers go up first. But then all floods would let loose as the Panthers would score 2 unanswered goals to go up 2-1 in the first period. In the second period, we saw Morgan Frost's nice goal, a goal that you only see veteran hockey players pull off. It was a nice backside of the stick goal that Bobrovsky did not see coming, and it would get the Flyers their second goal. But Carter Hart on this night would truly not be his night. He would allow 4 goals to go past him, only having 14 saves on 18 shots on goal, and would unfortunately get pulled for Brian Elliott, and his night would end early. But this is definitely a game for Carter Hart to forget. The final score of this game would be 5-2, and at this point, we were at a dark spot. We lost the last 3 games. You know, we were riding high before this 3-game losing streak. We were moving up in the Eastern Conference seedings, and to lose these 3 games the way we did, going up early, blowing leads, not fighting hard enough. Carter Hart seems to be shaking a little bit with his confidence. This was definitely a bad week. We needed something to rejuvenate us. We needed something positive to finish out this week. And we got that. The week would end Thursday night as the Flyers would travel up to Raleigh, North Carolina, and as the Flyers would say, they were rallying in Raleigh. Morgan Frost would get another start here, and Brian Elliott would be put in net in favor of Carter Hart, which would be interesting to see. But this time against Carolina would go up 2-0 early, shaking us all up. You know, most teams, after losing 3 straight and then giving up 2 goals bright and early, most teams would just lose it and give up. But at that moment, this Flyers team showed us something. They dug down deep to find a way to turn this game around. And on the sticks of the newly formed KFC line with Travis Konecny, Claude Giroux, and Morgan Frost, the Flyers were able to take advantage of this Carolina Hurricanes team, would score 3 unanswered goals, and would end this game winning 5-3. The perfect way to end this week. Now beating the Carolina Hurricanes twice this season. But that KFC line is what we have to talk about, guys. They put the team on their backs and were a crucial part of this win here. Claude Giroux definitely looks comfortable playing with Travis Konecny and Morgan Frost. Morgan Frost seems to be the jolt of energy this team needed offensively. He's definitely been the positive note of this week. Now it's just time for the Flyers to continue to build off of this. For Carter Hart, this week is going to be crucial for him. He did not have such a hot week in between the pipes, and for Ali Vigneault, it's important that he manages Carter Hart in the right way, because you do not want a young goalkeeper to lose his confidence. That's really easy to do for a young goalkeeper in this league, and it is important that Ali Vigneault finds a way to get Carter Hart back. This is going to happen. We talked about this. This is his first full season as the starting goalkeeper for the Philadelphia Flyers. He's going to go through these skids. This happens, but it's important that he continues having that support around him that will be able to get him to play to his full potential that we all know he can do. Well, guys, it's also a big week for 3 guys in particular: JVR, Kevin Hayes, and Jakub Voracek. I need these guys to be a little bit more explosive on offense. I'm going to keep a close eye on those 3 players. Guys, this past week is over. It did not start off in the way we wanted, and it wasn't the week we wanted as well. But the important part is it ended in a positive note. That Carolina game is a blueprint for these next couple of games. I have all the faith in the world that Alain Vigneault is going to get this team back rolling after this Carolina game. This week gets put in the past, and let's look ahead now. All right, Saturday afternoon, the Philadelphia Flyers will be back home in the Wells Fargo Center. It will be a 1 o'clock as they host the Calgary Flames. And, you know, Johnny Hockey's coming into town. This is the perfect opportunity after all the trade rumbles have been going on to persuade Johnny to come to Philly. And then Monday night, the Flyers will face off against the Vancouver Canucks as they come into town. We won that first matchup up in
Vancouver.
And we got to do the same on Monday. 2 days later, the Philadelphia Flyers will travel to Ohio and face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets. You know they're going to want to get revenge after we beat them earlier in the season at home. That'll be a good game to watch. And then we end the week next Friday as the Philadelphia Flyers face off against the Detroit Red Wings at home at the Center. That should be a win as well. Guys, that was the week that was with the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm feeling good about the Flyers after they ended the week on a positive note. But guys, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, want to hear what are your feelings of the Flyers this past week, and of course, of them going forward. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We are really trying to grow the Parcero Philly name in the Philly sports landscape, and I could really use your guys' help to grow. Help me out by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, hitting the bell button for notifications, and sharing this video as well as this channel. Guys, if you want to catch me on the other social media platforms, definitely do so. Follow me on Twitter at El Parcero Philly, and also follow me on Instagram at L_Parcero_Philly. Guys, I'm in Parcero Philly, and until next time, it's fly or die.